So yeah, let me basically share the screen. It will be more cozy one because like moderators is a speaker as well. It's not a frequent case within our kind of series of sessions. So as I mentioned, me and Taras will be today's speakers. Hopefully the next slide will show that as well. Yeah, so it is. We are 100% correct. And I'll start with a short intro about the problem itself we would like to tackle today with those newest technologies. So that's a really simple, I would say, graph, but it illustrates the way we typically use different AI assistants or copilot, as we also call them. So if we don't have an expertise and just try to generate something, most probably it will be really low quality output, even though it increase the productivity. If you're like a beginner and like utilize some basically AI tool, you don't utilize this basically AI tools, it might still take a lot of time, but not bring necessary quality. If you are very experienced, of course, you can do the high quality content by yourself, either marketing and design stage. But if you use content creation tool wisely, you may just provide with really smart, creative insights in order to achieve comparably same high quality output, but with much less time efforts. So that's how we envision overall like future of content generation that is inevitable part of basically AI-driven marketing ecosystem when you have different automation applications that are powered by different sources of the knowledge that are typically used by modern Gen AI application as a knowledge basis. For example, your brand identity, information about your target audience, or even performances of your channels. And then based on those foundation and fine-tune or connected through novel technology like RAG that help you to basically extract exact information from the information you have, but still communicating and utilizing LLM and Gen AI models. So having all of those information in place, you can create much more tailored and personalized content. But our main focus today will be not only on basically not on the textual side of the content, that is also important part, and that's how we typically use it in the combination, but also on the visual part. And here is just an example how typically what source of data we can give for Gen AI model in order to be more clever and create those personalized content. So it can be a brand book and tone of voice. It can be like some audience data and the performance of different campaigns or business metrics that you have had based on certain content produced and then consumed by a certain audience. So typically, as we see it within this, I would say, content creation steps, there are three major. The first one, when you ideate around the content, and it might be either already like marketing asset, or it can be still the product design stage that is more focused on design R&D. When you need to basically have an inspiration, create something that might be the next great product or the next idea for the campaign. And for this, typically is the first stage when you use the kind of visual generation model, but don't really bring the outcomes to the world because there are certain limitations. And but you can inspire yourself and then create something very similar to what was generated. So the next step is basically when you have already generated design of the product or already created idea, and now you would like to adopt it for different channels. So basically you can input some existing asset and repurpose it for another maybe placements or another audiences. And the last step, when you can utilize basically content, use content, the visual generation tools, not only to inspire, but generate the content that might be used externally. and even published on your channels without any worrying about copyright infringement and whatever. So fully integrated content copilot means that you have such content automation tools that can cover all the steps from like creating the design of your product with certain productivity boost to actually generating external content, localize it, personalize it. And it's not only the and this idea is proven by numbers, right? So there are some numbers that we see from our customers and from the industry that for certain processes, for certain visual generating processes, you can speed up the time for certain operations up to 90%. It means like you can customize much faster or produce personalized content much faster. It also basically help you to navigate much faster through existing guidelines or brand books or whatever, because the complexity increase. And if you have something that can help you to be always compliant with those newly coming brand and policy requirements for your content, it can increase certain operations up to 80%. And in the end, highly optimized and diverse generated content improve the revenue. And it's not only improve it through basically not only on like improving operation, but also scaling it, because you can conduct more A/B testing, reach other audiences that you haven't had capacity to reach out before. And that proved one of our client testimonies who tell, okay, so that was the really simple story. Before it was like process when the basically design team or each time has to upscale its image in quality in order to make them basically good enough for printing. And Avery is the company who provides those printing services. And it was always the challenge, especially for edge cases, when you have a lot of text, a lot of custom and important information shown on the slide. And SoftServe has developed the tool that helps them to speed up this process for like actually 600% in terms of time, when they now just click the button, get the result, a little bit enhance it, and they get very well very high quality and upscaled image for that they can use already for printing. So it's just one example. It's just very small part of the operation, but it's the part of the solution that we are going to tell you and show you on the next slides. So all of these thoughts bring us to previous projects with the customers, bring us to the idea that it's the right time to accelerate our knowledge and convert it to the actual solution that is called Content Creator. Power it by newest available technologies in order to make the solution accessible. And there are certain ways how to do the solution accessible, but one of them is, of course, NVIDIA NIM, that helps to decrease inference cost and inference speed, basically for this high quality generation model like Llama, Stable Diffusion, Picasso, and others. And combining it into the actual pipeline, now we have the building blocks for all of the stage of content from design and to the marketing that can be utilized by our customers. Of course, there's much more work before, but today we will show what we already have achieved from technical perspective and maybe inspire you on what will be in front us. And on this step, I would like to transfer the word to Taras, who maybe can share some insights around technology behind the solution we are working on.
Hey guys, so let's dive deep into the technology behind the content creator solution. So as Bogdan mentioned, the huge chunk of the pipeline is powered by NVIDIA technologies. So what is the general idea of the solution? So as a brand, as a company, you have a lot of digital assets. As well, you might possess a brand book, brand tone of voice with some specific rules for your marketing assets, etc. So what our tool is capable of is to analyze those brand books, your tone of voice, your rules with RAG technology. And based on that, during the development of new marketing assets, it will be able to adjust the prompts, adjust the description to generate posters, banners for different social media with different aspect ratios based on those rules. How the workflow is done. So basically, you are uploading your brand book, and then you might have digital asset. It can be image, PNG image, it can be 3D model, and you can select the target audience, you can select the corresponding settings, if it's LinkedIn post, if it's like website banner, etc. So everything is fully customizable and everything is according to the rules specified in the brand book. So on this slide, you can see the detailed pipeline of our solution. And as you can see on the top row, we have pre-processing step. Here it's actually mostly to extract data from your brand's brand book. It can be like images, text. So we are parsing everything with PDF parsing solutions and some extra technologies. And on the in the center of the image, you can see two main parts of the pipeline. The left one is retrieval. Here we are using re-ranking NIM and NIM embedding just to process information from the brand book properly. And on the right side, we can see image generation. So of course, the solution is powered by Stable Diffusion, but here we are using NIM Stable Diffusion XL. This version is an optimized one, so it runs faster. It's just better for the inference time. And as well, we are using some other techniques like body pose net. It's, for example, if you want to generate like a models holding your product, or we can as well use Tao semantic segmentation just to understand the generated scene better and generate more realistic images. And the final step is text generation, which is powered by NIM Llama 3. And as well, it uses the RAG system just to generate the prompts based on your brand tone of voice and based on the settings, target audience, and prompts that you specified. And in the result, everything is combined, and you can see the fully ready social media post. And here we can see just the idea how it works. Our solution has a few more versions after this one, but right now it's being deployed.
Creative generative AI technology simplifies this process. Introducing our innovative 3-in-1 content creation tool, featuring the seamless integration of the automatic 1111 Stable Diffusion Web UI, RealVis XL 4.0, and InPaint Anything. These advanced tools facilitate the creation of images with precise native compositions for text, ensuring banners align perfectly with brand, industry, and products. Imagine crafting banners effortlessly. Users begin by providing brief details about their product and target audience, selecting desired dimensions, and instantly receiving a banner equipped with relevant copy and imagery. The text on these banners remains fully editable, designed to avoid overlapping the subject of AI-generated images. For any adjustments, our intuitive text editor offers the flexibility to modify copy, style, and placement. This tool can be easily adapted and scaled to fit a brand's visual style and tone, ensuring content resonates with specific audience segments. Embrace the efficiency of generative AI. Automate, optimize, and personalize your content creation with SoftServe.
So this version was specific to the financial domain, but actually here you was able to select a relevant product, for example, a credit card, and it was integrated seamlessly to create, for example, LinkedIn post. And here you can see like a little bit more interesting solution, because it's not only for 2D digital assets, but as well for 3D assets. So why it's needed? Because the existing solutions, they can use your PNG image and just in paint on the background, and it will look okay. But for some specific needs, you will have to deal with transparent objects, which is like a common situation in the beauty brands or some other retailers. For example, here you can see two transparent bottles. So actually it's the same one, but here you can see intentional highlight on how the reflections within the bottle look different from image to image, because this one is actually completely separately generated background in the form of HDRI, and those bottles are 3D objects in Omniverse. So we are crafting the scene where the bottle is placed in the center of the scene. We are generating the background, and we are doing like the proper rendering. And with this, you can see the realistic shading, you can see the realistic reflections on the cork of the bottle, and as well, you can see all of the light reflections within the transparent bottle, which is impossible to achieve with just 2D images. And that is what our solution is capable of. Here, another, it's as well like a very simple example just to showcase when we are rotating the product, how the reflections within the bottle are changing. And as well, it showcases that we are able to generate videos with this pipeline, or short animations or product turnarounds. And here, another example. So with this slide actually highlights different settings. So you can start with the original product. This one was for one of the clients from retail industry. We can upload this product. We can type the prompt, laptop standing on the table, and as a result, we can achieve actually a good-looking image with realistic reflections, shading. But as well, we can generate it in different aspect ratios, as you can see on the lower row, and we can change the background if needed, so it can be adapted to multiple social medias and multiple target personas. And this one is as well interesting example when we have just like a kitchen table, and just to make it more real, we can actually place it within the kitchen, or we can place some like greenery, some products on top of the kitchen, just to showcase it in different scenarios. And I'm passing the word to Bogdan.
Thanks, Taras. And it will be also really interesting in the end to address the question of what would be the next steps, right? Because it's all about like the solution is so innovative that it faces it's very in active development, indeed. But in order to utilize this solution by the final customer, there is the foundation that should be set, and typically this foundation is within asset management. So typically all the companies, even maybe including SoftServe, has its own like content storage system. For someone it can be OneDrive, but for like retailers, for example, it's typically DAM system where they have all of the product product design versions, all of their 2D marketing actions, all assets all together with maybe even videos and audios, if any. And there are like 3 steps from like pre-production and R&D till final post-production and marketing distribution where a different team involves. So this requires that all the 2D and 3D assets will be consistent throughout all the teams. And that's why having very intuitive and extended asset management solution is important. And that's where we see the value of placing on top these content automation tools that we are working on. But those asset management part might be not only out of the box DAM system, it also can utilize some advanced search approach when you might not just open the folder, look at the correct data, and then upload it, but have more native, similar to what we will have in the new iOS of iPhone, way to find the right content. Basically, you can prompt and describe what information on what type of a 3D asset or from what period of time approximately you would like to get, and then get out this message from your data management system. And this component is inevitable if you want to streamline your process even better. And typically it fit this product design stage, because for that stage, as just Taras shown, you can use you can take the digital twin out of the created 3D model and then use it as a source for this content creator tool. And but if to make a step back, if you're working on the design of this product, you can integrate tool like Omniverse, NVIDIA Omniverse and NVIDIA Nucleus in order to store these assets properly and be able to build those kind of advanced search and advanced asset management system on top of that, while having this unified USD formats that was just launched last year in order to have all the 3D assets in the same compatible for different platforms basically format that also help for our solution to like work with only one type of 3D assets format. And here you can see just the way how Omniverse and Nucleus can be combined with other tools through the Omniverse Connect, like Unreal, Ubisoft, or even Blender, in order to make this asset management foundation even seamless and easier for the final customers. So, but then important part of the story is where those asset management and overall content creator solution works. And it's not only the idea. We have seen one of the client's testimony, but there are a lot of more similar to share. And one of them is the project that started just this week. Very interesting one is around video generation. That's probably the future of content creation. And here you can see the images of the actual residential buildings of our customer who would like to create content automation tool when you can create personalized videos for the potential buyers, taking into the account their like interests, their family size, what might be important for them as a target buyer. And then based on this information and the facility where they show intent to buy, create the short 1-minute video with the audio narration and the story based on what we know about the customer, and also actually in-paint the people with a similar kind of, for example, family size into actual facility and show how you can spend your time within this facility, what you can cook on the kitchen, what in even more, what nearest kindergarten you can visit, and what parks to walk around. And basically all this process might be typically done by the like team of couple of people, but there is already the possibility to achieve it within just the content automated workflow, and basically very high accuracy generation tools that we will use in this project. And here's just a couple of examples. I don't know why they are not generated or animated, but the most complex part in video generation, of course, is to have it consistent. So the person didn't have like 5 to 6 fingers, or the environment doesn't change so rapidly. So the area of our research where we try to combine different video controls like camera movements, or speed up the object in the video, or enhance its style while still preserving consistency within frames. And that's something that eventually should be the part of content creator solution, but currently it's only it's a kind of research and POC type of project for the customer. Another interesting example is when you have a certain type of already created design or generated design, whatever, that is also the part of this content creator workflow. And so you need to basically detect certain objects, labels, and see if they are placed correct. Or even more, if you created the whole, for example, selling PDF about your product, and you would like to check if all the information comply with your brand book, or you get this PDF from your marketing vendor, and typically those process of marketing and guideline check takes pretty it's not effortless. So and we experiment a lot on how making those not only textual kind of analysis and comparison, but also visual comparison of your product design and your final marketing essence to the guidelines. And it can be achieved with custom basically visual pipeline plus multimodal RAG that help us to parse all the information about brand data, guidelines, and all other specific type of information you might have. Here is another interesting example of the project and the success stories we are working on, and I'll ask Taras to share more about this customer.
So this is just one of the examples of our successful collaboration. So for example, this one specifically was for the 3D design software company. So everything is moving in phases. So we approached the customer, we presented our expertise in visual Gen AI in different directions. We selected the top priority use case for the customer and started with proof of concept. It was a successful proof of concept, and we proceeded with customer to the MVP stage. MVP was divided to the different milestones. So, for example, the first one was the improvement of the user interface, but it's not only like UI part, it's as well a lot of like Gen AI powered stuff behind that. The second milestone was about optimization of the pipeline to achieve the production ready performance. And the third milestone was about integration with clients' AWS infrastructure. And we actually already finished this process, and right now it is being tested by alpha users. So we will receive the feedback and it will move to the production, but in the same time, we will continue the improvements and some other things in the customer's pipeline. Let's move to the next slide. This one is actually the slide about one of the projects that we've delivered. It's image to PBR. So here you can see the example of the developed application that we've done for the customer. So what is PBR? Is physics-based rendering. So you can have multiple images of some textures like wall, brick, etc. But the texture itself, it doesn't contain the information about the reflections, about depths, etc. While with PBR materials, for example, here you can see 5 different maps: albedo, normal map, roughness map, a metallic map. It will show you how the light should be reflected, how rough the material is, and it will be more realistic during rendering in the 3D software. This one was as well extremely interesting project. So, for example, if you're an architect and you're or interior designer, for example, so you've created like a scene, for example, a living room, as you can see on the upper part of the slide, and the majority of like not the majority, but some of the visual design tools, they are slightly catchy, just not to overcomplicate the look of the user interface within the application, and they look something similar to this one. But when you want to present this to your customer or someone else, you need to have like a realistic rendering, which will have the better lighting condition, but at the same time, it should preserve the materials that you selected. So, for example, the sofa should be the same, the wooden door should stay the wooden door, and that's where like the existing solutions are struggling in preserving those original materials and preserving those colors. While with our solution, we've achieved the realism while preserving the colors and materials of the original scene. This one is as well very interesting project. So for some events, broadcasting events, like tobacco or alcohol logos might be prohibited, for example, in Middle East or in France. And there are 2 options for this. First, like the company will be fined. Second option, they are just not streaming those events. And both of the options are not satisfying. So we've created a POC for the customer where we show our capability of removing some of the tobacco logos from the broadcast. And Bogdan, can you try play this? Okay, so I believe it's a delay in the presentation, but as you can see on the top left, there is Marlboro logo here. It's tobacco logo, and on the top right side, it is removed. So the idea is here that we used motion flow guided in painting with Visual Gen AI that removed all of the logos, but preserved the realism of the original scene. And this one, so currently we can see interest from the customers in visual question answering. This customer, for example, had some products, and we had to clarify whether the product information is contained on the packaging, because sometimes some of the labels might be missing, some of the important things like the composition of the product, the expiration day might be missing, and this can cause some problems to the developer. That's why you need to validate this. And during this project, it was achieved with the visual question answering solution, where we were able not only to use OCR, but actually develop like the whole pipeline with like this question answering.
So that were those success stories that we would like to share with you, and hopefully they inspire your imagination on where the tool or where the customers utilize Visual Gen AI and content creators specifically. And now we have time for questions, and there are a bunch of them. So I'll start addressing them and answering together with Taras one by one. The first question from Oля Nikolishin in regard to the slide with numbers, and she asked, great numbers, where are they obtained from? Some real use case data, or was there any A/B testing? So basically those data was extrapolated from customer testimony that we have. One is the public one is Avery, who claimed 600% basically workforce to time of optimization that lead us to the number of time speed up and actual cost cut. But also there are another ones where we see very similar type of optimization. So typically, it doesn't optimize all the workflow for 90%, but for certain tasks, it is taken based on the specific task or activities. And these data are based on real use cases. Then the question from the tool, can we use this tool to develop our slides? Taras, what do you think? Is it the right time already to make the presentation with Content Creator tool?
I believe yes, but it might be the overhead, because like the tool is so complicated actually to not just create some simple images for the slides. So for such a simple use case, you can use all other alternative tools. But if you need to create something complicated with, for example, your product logos, yes, in that case, you can potentially use this tool.
Yeah, and just to add to Taras' point, basically, we in very active conversation with we're in very active conversations with our marketing teams, and hopefully once we will be able to make the final version of the product available, we'll have internal testing group who will be able to test it out, the newest version of the pipeline for different type of content creation tasks, and maybe including slides presentation. And even right now, there is the current version of the tool available on Gen AI portal in content creator section. It will emerge a lot for the next weeks, but for now you can also kind of log in and use already existing version. Then Bogdan Dovgan asked, where is the picture? Most probably there was some picture missing. So hopefully Bogdan, you was able to clarify the reason of its absence and watch our stream or see the result of image generation. Maybe you already tried the solution in Gen AI portal. Kelly Williamson, is this solution available for SoftServians to try it out? So yes, Kelly, it's available on Gen AI portal, and you can try it out yourself right now. Basically, you just need to make a request for credentials. In the same way, we can show it for the customers, but it's not the latest version because it's in very active development. So we will, if you are interested to have the access to the latest one, we also might keep you in the loop and add to the group who will test it before it will be launched to the website. Then Chuck Ross is asking, can we do live demos with customers? So yeah, the idea is to have this solution is as a kind of SoftServe IP and production ready solution. So you can always use it to make live demos with the customers. Maybe later on, you'll be even able to get kind of customer brand book and make the live demo even more immersive while using already kind of customer brand specific data. But also, I think if you have some ideas that may not specifically match with the current version of the solution, you can always reach out to Taras, for example, right? And then find the custom approach to the solution that we can build through POC, MVP, and move to production. As you see, this solution is already utilized in production, and there are already customers with whom we work on that. So, and that's all the question we had as for now. Maybe my question, if there is no more question from the audience, there is my question to Taras. Taras, what do you think is a next big, I would say, technological leap for the content creator? What should we expect from the industry and then, of course, from SoftServe solution in the next months? Or how do you observe it?
So I believe the next huge step will be integration of video generation for the content creation. So not only to generate like static social media posts, but actually as well generate some reels, etc. So it's not like that good enough right now, but it's developing from day to day, and we can see how it's evolving. So I believe it will be the next step. And I see we have a question from Eugene.
Eugene, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry, maybe I missed this slide or anything, but could you repeat? So we technically, I believe, added some functionality to existing like models, services, and stuff like that. So what we actually advertising? So we trained more models, or we combined some stuff. Sorry, I didn't get it from the summary. Could you repeat on one more time? So why they choose SoftServe, but not those services that are on the market? They're also generating six fingers for on the video and stuff like that. I mean, there are many of them.
Okay, so your question is about video generation or content
video
creation
in
tool?
images, yeah.
Okay, so for content creation tool, we are not just generating images for text. So, for example, you're advertising some product. Let it be, I don't know, like some perfume. So you cannot just go to the website and ask like Stable Diffusion to generate your perfume. So the thing that you should do is in painting. It means that you're uploading your product and you're generating background for that image. The existing solutions, they work with this, but they don't incorporate brand tone of voice. So they won't generate like the image with your specific color palette, with your fonts, with your wording, etc. And another part, there is no other solutions that can generate like the image with your integrated perfume bottle with a realistic transparency. So our solution is a unique one because of this pipeline of combining models with rendering with 3D scene combination.
No, actually, I've seen some model that generating exactly the same example with a bottle of water. I know maybe it's a market advertised picture, but I've seen exactly what you have shown.
Can you mention that model?
I don't remember. It was some AI video on the YouTube. I watched this summer, and I remember exactly the same problem they addressed. So that's why I'm asking what we actually improved for that, or like what we leveraged and what we added.
So the idea is that it's not only a single model; it's a pipeline. So we are not generating the bottle on the image itself. We are placing with some tricks like 3D model potentially of the bottle somewhere in between the generated background in the camera, and we are actually rendering it. So even if you are capable of achieving transparency with some other models, you cannot claim that it's realistic. Why we can claim it? Because it's an actual rendering with NVIDIA technologies which by default is realistic.
So
But
probably that says the components, right? So brand specificity, right? And of course, NVIDIA technology is the part of the solution, and still like NVIDIA technology emerging with us, but basically those comprehensive pipeline that help us to achieve brand specificity and high quality is the advantage we do have right now. And definitely, as you mentioned, Eugene, like market is like it's a hot topic, so there are a lot of other alternative solutions, but when it comes to actual implementation and production, it just might be different, and that's where we put the most of our focus using this NVIDIA NIM. So it will be kind of inference. It will be reasonable in terms of money spent for inference, as well as still be very brand specific and having high quality output.
But yeah, Eugene, if possible, please reach me. We can discuss it more in details because it's as well interesting for me.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I don't see any more questions. So hopefully, I see one more question from Workplace. Let me check quickly. So Dmitro Kaluzhny asks, is there any forecast about content value in the future regarding the massive increase of content generation lately using AI? Taras, any thoughts, ideas?
Are you asking about some like our forecast or?
Dmitro Kaluzhny asked about probably our forecast of the future regarding so massive increase of content generated using AI.
For me, it's like the best way to explain it is, for example, when you're searching through YouTube or I don't know, like some Instagram Reels, etc. When you're working with a lot of like Gen AI models as well for speech, you can notice more and more familiar voices. So I understand that a lot of content in YouTube and in Instagram Reels are actually AI generated. All of the visual parts of it and all of the voiceover. So, and I can bet that the text for that is as well generated. So it's going to the masses right now, and I believe that the similar situation will be for the production and marketing content soon.
So basically, there is no way out, but the impact should be. My feeling is there should be some logical kind of or very specific approach how to give for some content authenticity, where you can claim that as it's already have done in platforms like TikTok, that this content is basically AI generated, while other one can be claimed as human generated. That might be even some kind of diversification in the future, but that's definitely something that I think will happen. And the second thing, probably more and more, as more and more content will be generated, the same content will be used for new model training. So I think this massive content production will generate a lot of synthetic data that eventually maybe will bring some limits to the diversity of the content we have for generation. And then I think more complex physical visual generating model might come into place when we'll be able to have content that not is trained on just specific visuals and then kind of is going into the loop, but also takes consideration some physical aspect of the world that then it might be even not visual Gen AI models, it might be some kind of new type of models in the future. So no more questions. Thank you, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed today's session. Taras, thank you for your time and sharing thoughts around Visual Gen AI and Content Creator tool. And if you have any question, always feel free to drop them to the R&D.com email. We'll be very happy for you to address them and find the way where those solution or the use case we share today can contribute to the success of your business or the customers you're working with. Oh, last one. Before we go out, will this, Oля Kokleva asks, will this innovation reduce the need for designers, or will they instead support and enhance their role in the future? Taras, what do you think?
I believe support and enhance.
The same for me, Ola. So no worries about like replacing. I think it rather will be another approach to do the same thing while human produced content might be even more appreciated. Thanks, everyone. See you next time. Bye.
Thank you, guys. See you.